What's up, small learners? Welcome to Industrial Arts TVL SMAU video lesson on layout beads on carbon steel plates. Learning outcome number 1, striking an arc. I am Giovanni Poch and Peñaflor, your TVL SMAU teacher from Lawakan National High School, Senior High School Department. Layout beads on carbon steel plates. The content standard. The learner demonstrates understanding of basic concepts and underlying theories in laying out beads on carbon steel plates. The performance standard. The learner independently demonstrates competency in laying out beads on carbon steel plates. A few reminders. This supplemental video lesson is best used with your small Quarter 2 printed modules, a pen and a piece of paper, and a study area that is suitable for learning activities. Objectives. At the end of the lesson, the learner will be able to identify the methods of striking an arc. The learner will be able to apply the process of striking an arc according to welding procedures and standards. Shielded metal arc welding process. Shielded metal arc welding is defined as welding with covered electrodes, manually controlled by the welder with manual replacement of electrode. This process uses a length of flux-coated electrode, which provides filler metal and atmospheric shielding. The electrode is held by the welder in an electrode holder with an insulated handle. The electrode holder grips the bare end of the electrode for good current transfer. It is commonly known as stick welding or manual arc welding. It is the most widely used arc welding process in the world. If I may point out on the video, this is the electrode holder and this is the electrode touching the base metal. This is your ground and this is your welding machine or your power source connected to a 220 outlet. So what we're talking about, or what we will be talking about, is what happens here when the electrode touches the base metal and forms an arc. So let's take a look at the welding process closely. The welder strikes and draws an arc which melts the base metal, forming a weld pool at the same time. The tip of the electrode melts and metal droplets are projected into the weld pool. So let's talk about this picture here. So this is your electrode. You have a filler metal and a coating, or sometimes called as flux. As you create an arc, this filler metal is melted or becomes a molten metal and is deposited on the base metal. So it creates fusion between the base metal, then turns into a solidified metal. During the arc process, a shielding gas is also formed by the flux. So this protects the solidified metal or your weld puddle. Then as the molten metal solidifies, a slag is also created. So this is what small learners are chipping away after the welding. So let's talk about the two methods of striking an arc. The first method is the scratching method. It is done by scratching the electrode to the base metal like scratching a matchstick. As the electrode scratches the base metal, an arc will be formed. It is the simplest method for most beginners. So if I may illustrate on this drawing, This is your starting point. This is your rod. You start from here, and then you slowly scratch the base metal, and then you end up here, and then the arc will be formed. No? The second method of striking an arc is called the tapping method. It is done by moving the electrode downward just until it taps the base metal, then bringing the electrode up slightly to form an arc with the same distance from the diameter of the electrode. Let me illustrate from this drawing. So you start from this position, then you go down. When the arc is starting, you slightly move the electrode up onto this position and until the arc is formed. Good day, madlang welders. Today we're going to talk about um, methods of striking an arc. No? So, striking an arc, ito yung unang-una na dapat matutunan ng isang small learner or welder. Ito yung first step, kumbaga. So, I'm gonna show you two methods. No? So, papakita kung paano. And then, later on, if you have, kung may mga gamit kayo sa bahay, like simple scrap metals and a simple welding machine, pwede nyo siyang gawin so that you could follow with the lesson and come up with an output. Okay, so para magawa natin yung activity na to, kakailanganin natin ng mga sunod-sunod, no? Mga pira-pirasong bakal kagaya nito. Ginawa ko dito, nilinis ko na lang muna para matanggal yung kalawang. Scrap metal dyan sa paligid ninyo, mamulot lang kayo. Scrap metal yan, nilinis ko lang para matanggal yung kalawang, para pag nag-weld tayo, medyo maganda yung resulta ng ating weld. Of course, yung ating welding machine, gamit ko ay portable na inverter type na welding machine, DC. Siyempre, kailangan natin ng electrode at saka electrode cable. Yung ating ground. Electrodes. So, 60-13 lang muna yung gagamitin natin sa panimula. So, striking an arc lang naman tayo. And of course, yung ating PPE, yung personal protective equipment. So, naka-cover all ako ngayon. Mamaya, susuot ko yung yung isa dyan sa mga mask, welding mask ko. So, dalawa dyan ay auto darken. Yung isa sa gitna, ito, manual yan. So, nangangat-angat mo. So, etong dalawa, the word itself, auto darkening. So, kusa siyang mag-block to protect your eyes. And of course, yung ating gloves, welding gloves. So the first part of yung gagawin natin is yung striking an arc by means of scratching, yung tinatawag natin na scratching method. No? So when we say scratching, parang kinakalahig mo yung base metal. So that's how yung isang method. Yung isa naman is the tapping method. So, tinutuldukan mo lang. Gently. Tinatap mo lang. So, yun yung dalawang methods na gagawin natin ngayon. Let's check what you know. Question number 1. What method in striking an arc is recommended for beginners? Scratching method, tapping method, both, or none? The correct answer is scratching method. Question number 2. In the symbol E6013, the letter E stands for energy, electric, effort, or electrode. The correct answer is electrode. Question number 3. The eyes can be protected during welding operation by using welding mask, apron, gloves, or leggings. The correct answer is welding mask. Question number 4. It is done by touching the electrode on the base metal like scratching a matchstick. Scratching method, tapping method, any of these, none of these. The correct answer is scratching method. Question number 5. It is done by moving the electrode downward until it touches the base metal, then bringing the electrode up slightly to form an arc. Scratching method, tapping method, any of these, none of these. The correct answer is tapping method. How many did you get? Good job!